Hi, welcome to Counterpunch, the show that exposes the unfolding world communist revolution. Like the show, share the show, subscribe to EpochTV. You'll find information here you will never see anywhere else. Well, today's show is going to focus on my native country, New Zealand. But I hope everybody will watch this because the messages here are universal. Every country that has more than one race, you will find communists in there stirring up grievances, exaggerating grievances to basically cause revolution to get power for themselves. And New Zealand is no exception. The native Maori population of New Zealand is very much being used for this purpose right now, but also immigrant Asian populations, Pacific Island populations, etc. Okay, now, well, New Zealand is undergoing a socialist revolution right now. It's a sort of quiet one. It's a little bit behind the scenes. It's not violent or not much. And one woman is at the heart of this, and that's a woman called Kiri Allan. She is a Maori New Zealander and our current Minister of Justice. Now, Kiri Allan is involved in several Labour Party plans that, if implemented, will change New Zealand forever. Labour plans to give the native Maori population, who make up roughly 15% of the population, a form of co-governance, meaning that they will get 50% share of the power in many government boards, local body boards, etc. So 15% will get 50% of the voting rights. Now, this co-governance thing also encompasses a plan to turn all water resources over to Maori. Control of water resources, sea, lake, river, hydroelectric generation, etc. will give them control, so they'll be the gatekeepers. Now, can you imagine the potential for corruption here, for racial enmity, for a changing of the power structures of New Zealand if this goes through? Now, the whole scam is based on the idea that Maori formed a partnership with the Crown back in 1840 when Maori chiefs signed the Treaty of Waitangi with the British to make New Zealand the country it is today. That was a ceding of power by Maori chiefs to British sovereignty. It was not a partnership. But this partnership idea, which has been promoted by the radical left, has been used to to elevate Maori into a special position. But not just ordinary Maori, the Maori elite, the Maori left-wing socialist and Marxist elite into a very special position of power. It's a revolutionary thing. That's what it's designed to do. It's not designed to help race relations. It's designed to overturn the existing power structures of New Zealand. And as I said, Kiri Allan is one of the main key players in pushing these destructive concepts. But first, a little background. As far back as 1936, the Communist International, based in Moscow, issued instructions to the New Zealand Communist Party, which was tiny at the time, to work for separate Maori governments in areas where Maori were the majority of the population. Most of the northern half of the North Island, for instance, many of the rural areas. This was based on Stalin's work, the nationalities question. Stalin posited that in areas where you don't have a big class structure, you can't use the working class to stage a revolution. You have to find minority groups. You get them to form a nation, set them against the existing country, and start the revolution that way. Through the 1940s, the Communist Party supported Maori land protests at Bastion Point near Auckland and worked closely with the Maori Queen, Te Puia. She was very much an ally of the Communist Party for many years. By the 1970s, the New Zealand communist movement had split into pro-Soviet, pro-Chinese, pro-Cuban, and even pro-Albanian factions. All of them supported Maori land rights. All of them supported the new protests at Bastion Point in 1978 and the Maori Land March of 1974. It was all about building up Maori grievance, agitating for a separate Maori nation, for Maoris to become the dominant force in New Zealand. In October 2007, there was a shocking event in New Zealand. I remember it well. The New Zealand police raided a paramilitary training camp in the Urewera Mountains, a very remote area in the northeast of the North Island. After 18 months of police surveillance, in which police observed over 60 masked activists practicing with firearms, explosives, and Molotov cocktails, watching them do ambush exercises, patrolling drills, and practicing interrogation techniques, they pounced, they moved, they started to round people up in raids. The evidence at the time suggested, and it was later confirmed in court, that what these people were doing was training to set up a separate Tuhoe nation in the Uraweras, very similar to what the Zapatistas did in southern Mexico. My own research has revealed that some of those arrested had traveled to Zapatista territory and Zapatista-controlled areas in Mexico. Only about 18 of the 60 attendees were actually arrested. About half were white anarchists associated with the Save Happy Valley environmental campaign, most of them Green Party members. The other half were Maori activists, some affiliated with indigenous activist groups in the United States and across the Pacific. The group was officially charged with training to take military action against civilian targets in the cause of establishing an independent Tuhoe nation with Tama Iti as their leader. Tama Iti was one of those arrested. Today, Tama Iti lives peacefully in Ruatoki in the Urawera country, though he does get out from time to visit with Cuban embassy officials. Tiano Tuiono is now a high-ranking Green Party member in Parliament. Kerry Allen is Minister of Justice. She is working on co-governance and three waters. And if she is successful, her Maori Marxist elite friends will soon become the dominant political force in New Zealand. Tama Iti wanted to take over Ruatoki with guns and bombs. Kerry Allen wants to take over all New Zealand, but she's using a computer mouse and a microphone. The result will be the same on a bigger scale. New Zealand isn't a revolution, folks, as is virtually every other Western country, and it's being organised by ministers of the Crown. So I hope you find this interesting. I hope you find the information here applicable to what's going on in Canada, the United States, Australia, South Africa, and many other countries around the world. Where there's, as I said, where there's more than one race, you will find Marxist revolutionaries. So please stay tuned to future episodes of Counterpunch with Trevor Loudon. God bless New Zealand. God bless America. God bless everybody who loves freedom. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next episode.